Welcome to Third Eye Champagne. I am Kirsten, Langston, author and intuitive. I have a guest with me today, one of my frequent guests, one of my favorite guests. Miss Eliza from Moon Pluto Astrology is here. She's over there on the Skype. There she is. You guys can see the screenshot of her. God, I love your fucking hair. I love your hair.
But you know, I like how it looks until you start filming, and then it just kind of does something unexpected. But I love your hair. I love the blonde. I was saying that before. I love it.
It's seriously the best move I've ever made. Somebody told me I look 10 years younger, which I'm fine with. I'm like, that's great. I'll take that. So today we are looking at Elizabeth Warren and Betto O'Rourke. And Eliza, of course, has her notes. So we're going to take a look at charts. We're going to probably do some cards. We're going to chit-chat about these two presidential candidates. I am going to disclaimer this video and say this. I've been a Warren fan from the get-go, before anybody knew who she was. I think her policy is amazing. I think the policies that she's dropping in the last few days, in the last couple weeks, are amazing. I'm behind it 110%. I'm fully biased about Elizabeth Warren. So I want to make that very clear, that if I were to vote today, I would be voting for her hands down.
I find that interesting because I am a registered Democrat, but I'm not biased yet. Like, I don't know who I would vote for if it was, tomorrow.
Right. I've been on her forever. I remember like years ago, my husband, I was talking about this lady, Elizabeth Warren, and I think it was after the financial crash or something, but I was so pumped about her, and he's like, who are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, she's a politician. And he's like, you're talking about a politician this way? And I'm like, dude, she knows what she's doing. So
that's a foreshadowing of your career.
Right?
This part of your career.
Right. So I want to preface this by saying that Eliza has been tweeting. Y'all should follow her on Twitter. What is it? It's just Moon Pluto Astrology, right, on Twitter?
It's Pluto NYC.
That's right.
Handle way back.
Moon Pluto NYC. So we're both on Twitter, at Kirsten Novelist and at Moon Pluto NYC. She's been tweeting about Warren's chart. She's been teasing me, and finally I was like, we have to do this video because she's going, this lady's cuckoo bananas. The chart is very interesting. And she's talking about how, like, the majority of the primary candidates for the Democrats are, like, they're air signs. Are they Libras or?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because I wanted to tell the story of how her chart freaked me out.
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
I'm a walker. Not everyone is, but I go for these, like, really, really long walks. Sometimes even every day. And I was going for one of my usual walks in a beautiful part of where I live, and I'm on my phone looking up people's charts and tweeting about it because sometimes it's a meditative, reflective walk, and then sometimes it's just, oh, what does Kamala Harris's chart look like? And I was amazed and astounded to discover that AOC is a Libra, which we knew because we did a video about her.
Yes, we did.
And Kamala Harris, and Betto O'Rourke is a Libra, and I think there was another one. There's like another. I can't remember who it is. There was another Libra in the mix. And then I thought, okay, let's look up Warren's chart because Kirsten, she adores Warren. I remembered that. And I could not believe her chart, like, freaked me out to such a degree because it was so interesting, first of all, and it was so unlike, because she's not an air sign. I mean, she's got some significant air, but she's not a Libra. And I'll tell you what she is. So even before we start on her, I think the two of them, O'Rourke and Warren, have some very interesting similarities. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if this is something that you can feel energetically when you watch them, and you might think, oh, the two of them might get along, or the two of them have something in common. But I'll tell you what I think is a significant point of contact with the two of them is they are both compassionate. They are compassionate politicians, and I feel like this is a new breed, really, where it's not all about them, and this is going to be power used compassionately.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of the horrible massacre in New Zealand and their prime minister, and everyone was talking about her compassion, and I kept thinking that's what it was reminding me of. It was that same sort of, when I looked at these charts, I feel like these are it's compassion and strength. basically.
Oh, interesting.
Probabilistically, chesed and gevura, compassion. Chesed is compassion, and still being able to rule. Still being able to govern. It's a marriage of heart and mind. The two of them, marriage of heart and mind.
Well, you see it with AOC, right? I mean, that's kind of the same trending.
She's more mind. I would say she's more mind and more almost like she's compassionate, but almost more impersonal. The way Aquarians, they say, are impersonal. I feel like she's almost like a symbol.
Oh, interesting.
She's a symbol, a generational symbol. Transpersonal. That's the word. She's transpersonal. She's for the collective.
Right.
AOC is more a leader for the collective. And these two, O'Rourke and Warren, to me, feel much more personal and less symbolic.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Some people, that's your life path. Some people have like a life path where you're a symbol. You're a servant of humanity, and maybe you have a personal life. You might have a family or whatever, or needs of your own, but you're still, that's what martyrs are. You're still like this. I'm not saying she's a martyr, but you're good. You have this like huge purpose.
Right.
I feel that about her more than these two. That's not to say neither one of them, these two, could be in office, but.
Right. No, I get what you're saying.
So about Warren, now get this, all right? So you don't know anything about her chart.
I don't even know what sign she is. I know nothing about her. Nothing.
She's a Cancer.
Really? Okay. I wasn't expecting that one at all, but okay, let's go.
So there I was, right? Yeah. There I was, thinking Libra.
Right.
Holy shit, she's a Cancer.
That's weird. Damned. Well, that's really interesting because she's so about the policy and she seems like she's really, in her head. So I never would have thought water sign because she's so intellectual. Not that water signs aren't, but she's really mental. She's really up there.
She has her Cancer sun is conjunct Uranus, and it's at 0. She's a Sun Uranus conjunction in Cancer. So she's going to be brilliant. And she's going to think outside the box. And she's going to just be like pure, flying through the air genius. But let me ask you this, because I don't know a ton about her. Does she talk a lot about Cancerian things, like home and family and like women, home, family, kind of down to earth, what we need right here, right now to make our lives better. Childcare,
yes,
all that, healthcare, all that kind of stuff. All that very we have to take care of the family. We have to. That's Cancer. We have to take care of the family. We have to take care of women.
Well, yeah. What's really interesting about that is she talks a lot about her childhood and her backstory and how she grew up and the way she grew up and her family members. That is a lot of her jam is, she really has this here's how I grew up, here's how I became who I am thing. Childhood and how she grew up and how she was working class and, how her mom took care of them and about. Yes.
Memory lane. We're always going down memory lane, the Cancers.
Yeah, she's always talking about like that and memory lane, and she's also talks a lot about her family, her husband, her kids, her grandkids. It's very she makes it a point to show her family, to say it's important to her when there's family events and stuff. She's always putting it up on Twitter. I'm with the grandkids today, and it's the birthday and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's her jam.
That's the chart. What you're describing is exactly the chart. Now I think she's going to be underestimated. She probably already has.
She is.
There's no birth time that I could find online, so we don't know her rising, but she will be seen as soft.
Yeah.
She or seen as boring. You just not dynamic somehow. So she may have a very, I don't know what her rising might be. I'd have to study her more, her appearance. But I have no doubt that she is a crazy genius.
Yeah.
Whether we've seen it yet or not, she's going to be offbeat somehow. Cancers kind of always are. Cancers are kind of weird, kind of silly, kind of goofy. Cancers have a reputation, of just being in their feels and nothing else. But, we're weird anyway. We're ruled by the. I mean, I keep saying we because I'm a Cancer. Ruled by the moon, and the moon is always changing. So she's going to be offbeat, but that offbeat with her, I'm sure, slides into genius territory, and she probably creates worlds in her sleep. Like, I'm going to govern. I'm going to be the president, but I'm going to take over that land too. I'm going to, not take over, but I'm going to invent it. I'm going to create it. So that's going to make her super smart, and smart in a special way, in an exceptional way. That's what I mean by special. Smart in an exceptional way, because that's the Uranian energy. It's not like your everyday energy. It's seeing what no one else can see. So she's got Cancerian intuition plus Aquarian crazy genius.
Wow.
She can just like invent shit. If she has, this is really important. I'm going to jump in my notes. She, in this lifetime, so this is like the super karmic, this is the woo-woo part for your woo-woo people.
Yes.
This lifetime, she needs to emerge as a leader. She has to fulfill her particular life path, life purpose. If she is too much of a peacemaker or tries to make other people happy, then she's failing. She's not supposed to be a partner. She's supposed to be, I am the one. I am the leader. And that is very hard for a Cancer. Cancer is so like, let me gather everyone around me, my clan and my tribe, and who's with me, and holding grudges and all this stuff. But her North Node is in Aries. So she has to really be that brave warrior, sounds like, for whatever her ideas are, whatever her beliefs are.
Oh, that's very interesting.
And to create, what did I write here? To create trends. Yeah, she has to create the trends. She's a creator. She's a creator of life, literally. Sun Uranus is not soft. Cancer can be very soft, but fierce because it's the mother, the protector. Yeah. But Sun Uranus is not soft. It is innovative. Yeah. She's literally a creator of life.
What's also really interesting is that as far as, the Cancerian thing, the taking care of people thing goes, her policies are really aimed at or for families. They're for the working class. They're for the working poor. They're to take care of people. And it's all about lifting families up and lifting people up out of poverty and making sure everything is fair. She's been really instrumental in enacting policies that protect consumers. That's kind of her jam. That's kind of her thing. Dodd-Frank, I believe her handprints were all over. So she's very much about consumer protection and financial protection and making sure that the little guy is safe and sound.
Cosmic mother, that's what it is. It's totally Cancer. And what else was I going to say? I keep feeling she's continually underestimated. I don't know that much about her, but it feels like in whatever arena she finds herself, people are going to think she's soft. And then she's got Mercury and Mars in Gemini. So the brain also comes out there, the cleverness, communications, the storyteller, great with words, all of that. I mean, she can talk, for sure. Yeah. But when I first saw that Sun-Uranus conjunction in Cancer at 0 degrees, that's what freaked me out. I was like, holy cow, who is this person? Because it's brilliant.
Yeah. I think she's brilliant. I really do. I mean, like I said, I've been a fan from day one. I think that she is just got a brilliant mind, and she has a really knack for crafting policies that make sense, number one, but also benefit people. And I think she is being underestimated. I think she's been underestimated from day one, and I think I think she's going to be continued to be underestimated. I do. I absolutely do. I mean, she's not Beto. She's not jumping up on tables or whatever the hell he did. And, Kamala Harris, she kind of came out the gate with that big speech, and everybody's like, oh, she's an orator. Let's go follow her. And, Bernie Sanders, and people are just fully not really looking at Warren, like fully not really looking at what she's doing. She's just kind of, here's what we're doing. This is what I want to do. This is the policy. This is my big fabulous brain, and she's going to continue to be underestimated. I fully believe that. Yeah, for sure.
I think the people more than ever are so drawn to charisma. Yeah. There doesn't need to be a message, clearly. It's just like, are you charismatic? How do you look? What's happening on your Instagram? Are you a rock star?
Right.
And she's not a rock star in that way. No. She's a different compassionate leader.
Yeah, somebody said, I think it was on my Patreon, somebody said, well, Warren just bores me. And I, like, snapped. I was like, have you looked at her policies? I was like, I don't give a shit if she bores you. I'm not hiring her to entertain me. I'm hiring her to run my country, and her policies are amazing. Like, I lost it. I was like, look at the policies.
This is a problem with the world today. You know, we're too taken by what's shiny. So we don't see substance. I mean, that's a real issue. Now, she's got a Taurus moon. So again, there's going to be this concern with food, food, agriculture, money, anything that's kind of basic, down to earth.
I want to say she came from farmers, but I could be wrong on that. But I want to say she did. I want to say there's some kind of agricultural background or ties to agriculture with her in the past, I think. I'll have to look it up.
The mistake that people are going to make is that, well, besides the underestimating, of course, is that she's too soft. I mean, her chart is very yin, but it's also not. Like until we stop seeing compassion as a weakness, we're screwed. We're just going to have these leaders that don't care about us.
Right. Right. It's true.
There's no way you can be a Cancer and not care. You can be totally insane Cancer, but you're still going to care. It's just true. Okay. Do you think, did we say what we... Yeah.
Do you want to put a couple cards down on her before we move on?
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's just see where she's, like... I know you had said at one point on Twitter. So I follow Elise on Twitter, and she's always tweeting throughout the day. It's Moon Pluto NYC, at Moon Pluto NYC on Twitter. I'm also on Twitter at Kirsten Novelist. So she and I will chit chat back and forth. So she did say at one point, Elisa, you said you didn't think Warren was going to win. You just don't think it's there. You don't think she has it.
I didn't feel it. No, I didn't. And those are really the reasons, because people are going to fall for flash, shine, and charisma. Even if they choose the best one who's flashy, they're still... And she's mom. Does anyone... I mean, not everyone wants mom to be president. She's got 3... It's not just... she's got her Venus there, too.
Oh, wow.
So she's Sun, Venus, and Uranus, so she's got a lot of... People want to have dinner with her. People want her to cook them dinner. They don't want to hear her talk about policy. They want, roast beef or whatever. They want dinner with her. They want her to take care of them. But they don't understand that she's Sun Uranus. And Sun Uranus is going to dream up new worlds that we can all live in. Better worlds. See, I want to be her campaign manager now. Elizabeth Warren is going to dream up new worlds we can all live in.
Right.
They're imaginary worlds. But if you're a president, you can make them real. You can make them real.
It's true. It's
all
true.
Right. What are we asking the cards?
What are we asking the cards? That's a good question. I think let's just see how far she's going to go, how well she's going to do. Let's do a little bit of prophesizing and just see where she ends up.
I'm getting weird cards. I think overall no, like she's not president. I wasn't thinking of any other role in the White House, but president, I would say no. Although I don't think she's discounted right away, so I think she gets. I mean, I don't know all the places she could go, but I think ultimately it's a no.
I don't see it either. There's a man here. There's a man here. So I think we've got a man. We've got a man going on. I think we've got a man here. I mean, she may go far. I've always said I saw her in that White House, and I still do in some capacity. Maybe vice, maybe president. But I don't know. I mean, there's a man here where I didn't want to say man here. And look at this. She's got the Empress here. So she's got the card of the mother. Literally, the card of the mother is here in her cards. So, I don't see it. But I think that she could have an intrinsic role in crafting really good policies for whomever or with whomever gets into that White House for sure. But no, I don't see it. It's a man for sure. It's a man.
You know what's interesting about her too is I feel like, and with these cards, people don't see her as stable. Even though this woman has a Taurus moon, which can be like so stable that they don't change for 50 years. But I think that Sun Uranus, I don't know anything about her inner circle, but I feel like people who've worked for her or people in the inner circle who might not like her so much they see things that we don't see, and some of them might be like that. The story about what's her last name? Klobuchar.
Oh, throwing the binder and shit?
Like eating the salad with a comb. Like, that's the kind of story that I would expect from a chart like this.
Wow.
Uranus is like eating a salad with a comb. Because it's weird. Because it's weird.
No, it's weird. Yeah. All right. Interesting. Well, I look forward to pushing my agenda on Elizabeth Warren.
You know what? I would always tell, I have a good friend here who's a Leo. Shout out to Amy the Leo. But I used to tell her all the time that she could buy my vote. Like, whoever she wants me to vote for, she just buy me the House Red and I'll vote for her candidate. But I'm going to offer that to you now. If she's an option, I'll vote for her. For free for you.
Why, thank you.
Because it's your show, so.
So, Betto. I don't know much about him. I mean, I know he ran, he lost. He's a skateboarder. Right? Like, I think he got a DUI. I don't know much about him. I haven't really been paying attention to him. I've kind of been zoning out on the primaries, but he's an interesting guy. He's a very interesting guy, and I'm really excited to take a peek at him and see what we've got going on here, girl.
You know what's interesting about him? These Warren similarities, okay, he also has a Taurus moon. I keep thinking of the two of them would make a good pair, actually.
Yeah.
He's got a Taurus moon. His south node is in Cancer, which is her sun sign, and her south node is in Libra, which is his sun sign.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I thought that was interesting. So I do think the two of them are these warm, likable, compassionate politicians, compassionate healers. These two. He's more likable. He's got the charisma. I mean, Libra is going to be likable anyway. I mean, Libras are just dazzling. AOC is a Libra. Kamala's a Libra. So they have, I think they're beautiful. They're like physically beautiful, and then they're charming and smart, and they can, get whatever they want out of you, basically. A good Libra has those skills. Mm-hmm. So like Warren, though, I think he has hidden strengths too. Like, he's not just a pretty face or not just a charming face. He's not just a Libra charmer. His trick is actually a little trickier. This guy has his Sun and Pluto conjunct. Warren's got Sun Uranus. He's Sun Pluto. So he wants power more than she does. And I think that's, we might not see it at first underneath all this like Libra affability. So he's got to fulfill his life purpose in this lifetime. He has to transform society. And transform himself. He's got to do both. In the process, he's got to do both.
Oh, interesting.
Makes sense. I don't know if I got myself off track there.
No, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me, very much so.
And he's North Node in Capricorn. Warren is North Node in Aries. Both of them need to be leaders. They both need to be less mushy. I mean, I really feel like the two of them, no matter how brilliant they are, they have really big hearts, and there's going to be times where they're going to have to make the hard decisions. Capricorn makes the hard decisions. Aries makes the hard decisions like on their own without checking. Both of these people check with others. Is this the right way? Is this correct? Is this the right move? And they're going to have to graduate. And this isn't even about age. This is like soul education. They're going to have to graduate out of, people pleasing into, I'm an Aries because that's her North Node, or I'm a Capricorn, that's his North Node, and fully inhabit those energies. He's got an urge for control. That's the trick up his sleeve. I think it may be hiding underneath, all that sweet Libra-ness and the smile, but he needs to use that Sun-Pluto conjunction for good.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, he comes across to me as like not a control freak at all. Like, I've seen clips of him, and that's not the first thing I would go with is like, oh, this guy's a control freak. Not in the least bit.
And Libra is never easygoing. Libra is calculated as fuck, as the kids say today. Totally calculating sign. They're going to tell you, sorry, all your Libra. I mean that as a compliment for all your Libra fans that are like mad at me right now. I love Libra. I have many Libra friends, many Libra clients, love them all. But they're super smart, and they're going to get they're the iron fist in the velvet glove. They're going to get what they want by being charming and beautiful. But he's got a power urge. This is for anyone watching this. If you have a personal planet with Pluto in your chart, there's something that you've got to control. You know, you have this urge. I need power over that. I need control over that. I need to dominate that. And these urges have to be elevated. You know, I mean, that's my belief. They have to be elevated, or else you're a dictator. You know, if you don't, in your personal life, or in your professional life. God, we're going to a deep space today, Kirsten.
I like it. I'm into it. I'm feeling it.
I love his Mars in Virgo. Obama has Mars in Virgo. So that to me is the sign of the servant, like the true servant of humanity. I think Kamala Harris has that too. I don't remember. I was looking at her before, and then I just was focusing on these two. But, you know, the two of them, O'Rourke and Warren, both have to move away from any sort of like fear of being disliked or fear of not being good. You know, like the lessons for them, for these two politicians, we can all relate to. I feel like, because all of us have this, well, I need people to like me, and I need to be good. But for them, and probably for many of your fans, that's not going to work. We have to go beyond that.
Right. It's not a reality.
Well, it keeps us stuck. Because if you have your North Node in Libra and you're a politician, you need to lead. I mean, North Node in Aries. If you have your North Node in Aries and you're a politician, you need to lead and not just be shaking everyone's hand. You need to be like super brave and stick your neck out and not be afraid of being hated, you know, not be afraid of being seen as bossy. She's got to do that, you know. And similar for Betto with his North Node in Capricorn, which is, you know, the boss.
Yeah. So I have a question. We know I'm not Mrs. Astrology. I mean, I know enough to get by, but I'm by no means an astrologer. Hobbyist at best, as we know. My question is this. Since Saturn's in Capricorn, spill the tea, girl. Spill the tea, girl. I'm ready. With Saturn in Capricorn and his North Node is Capricorn, what does that mean for him, if anything?
I should check his degrees. Yeah, so that does matter a lot, yeah. Anytime we're dealing with the nodes, and I believe this, I'm not just, you know, saying a bunch of bullshit that I don't believe, but anytime we're talking about the nodes, it is involved with past lives, our past lives, our bigger destiny, our destiny in the world. It's all like the really big stuff, you know, that a lot of people want to hear about, they want to talk about. So Saturn is so much about work, okay? He's got a job to do. He has a very important job to do, destined to do it, fated to do it. It could only come at this time in particular. Saturn is going to conjoin his North Node and oppose his South Node in 2020.
Oh shit, that's really interesting.
Yeah, and it's close. So he's got, I would say he has a very important job to do, not just for him personally, but in a larger sense. So kind of like what I was saying before, that it's intertwined. His job is to transform society as he transforms himself, like his own path. You know, when we talk about celebrities or politicians, it always feels very personal to me. You know, like I always wind up talking about someone's life path, even if we're talking about, you know.
Right.
These figures that feel like they don't feel like real people to me.
Right.
But when I look at the chart, they start to feel like, oh, that's how he or she feels today.
Yeah, I'm the same way, girl. I'm the same way. When I start reading cards on people, it doesn't seem real. And, you know, they're like these larger than life things. And then the more I read cards on them, like the more I get into the reading, it shrinks down. And then I'm like, yeah, maybe I could be friends with Kim Kardashian. Yeah, I get it.
Right, or Lady Gaga. Right. He's also having a reverse nodal return, but it's, you know, lots of people are having them too. You know, it doesn't, so it really is more on the personal level. I would say, if I had to choose, I would say everything that's happening in his chart matters more for him personally. He's got an important job to do. But that would be true even if he were, you know, working at Fairway.
Right.
In New York City. I don't know if Fairway's anywhere else. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, fully.
He has an important job to do. He has a very important job to do because Saturn is always going to be job, work, purpose, like purpose with a capital P. It's going to be some sort of, and we have to work for it. It's not easy. It's not given to us. I go off when you ask me about Saturn. It just takes me a minute and then I go off.
Well, you wrote the book on Saturn, you know, the little book of Saturn. I mean, girl, you literally wrote the book on Saturn. Go off. I love it.
I know, right? Effort and patience. You know, he's not gonna, this is gonna take time, this whole thing, because that's what Saturn requires.
Yeah.
Saturn's not a gift. It's painstaking work. and it makes you feel like you're in despair, basically.
Yeah, it's a real motherfucker.
Saturn makes you want to die. It's not despair, it's fate knocking on his door. It's like, hello. Are you going to do what's required of you? Are you going to live your fate? Are you? And his moon in Taurus might say, I just want to, eat popcorn and watch TV. I mean, he's got a lot of Venusian energy, so he has that side.
That's interesting.
with the South Node in Cancer and a Taurus moon, this guy likes to relax and hang out.
Oh, yeah, that's legit. That is fully legit. I see that for sure.
Someone on Twitter, I thought it was very funny. I don't remember who it is, so I can't attribute the quote. But someone on Twitter said he had life coach energy.
You want to run a couple of cards on him?
Yes, I do.
I haven't even read on this guy yet. I haven't really read on anybody. I haven't done any readings on the Democratic primary. This is the first time I think I've even talked about it. I just, there's so many of them. I just don't want to waste all my time and energy. I'm like, let's just wait till a few people drop out and then we'll see what's going on. But I'm curious. I'm curious to see what the cards give us. How far does he go? Where does he land? What's up his sleeve? What's going on? I'm ready.
Speaking of astrology, something that's true these people, but it really applies to all of us. But I started thinking about it from looking at their charts because it seemed very loud. I'm sure when you look at cards too, you feel sometimes scream, right? You look at cards, they're screaming at you. But we all need to do the thing that we are less of. Like, we don't have enough. Every chart's going to have some kind of deficiency, or a fear or a lack. Some people might be all water and have no fire, or vice versa, or something's going to be missing, and we have to bring it in.
Oh yeah, big time.
These two need to be less likable, less obsessed with being liked and being fair. The two of them are obsessed with fairness.
Yes.
And they actually both need to be more selfish, and if they want to win, if either of them want to win, and lead the nation towards our glory.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I felt this on him before I even put the cards down. I felt this like a while ago, just like seeing a clip of him. I felt this. He doesn't have a solid push of energy behind him. His cards are less weird than Warren's, for sure. Losing my voice. Less weird than Warren's. Hers were kind of weird, kind of all over the place. Not weird in a bad way, just kind of like different. But these are solid, clear, easy to read, and he doesn't have a lot of energy or momentum behind him. Believe it or not. I mean, the energy just isn't there. His cards are stable, but he doesn't have it. He doesn't have what it takes. He's got the 5 below. So he's got the 5 of Pentacles below. This is shaky energy. So the whole thing is rooted in shaky shit. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it for a victory, for sure. And then his end card is the 4 of Swords, which is peace of mind, which is rest. So I don't think he's going to make it. I don't think he's going to be the Democratic primary nominee. It shows a stall. So it's showing me Chariot plus Knight of Pentacles. This is movement. This is not movement. So it's showing me a stall. It's showing me that he looks like he might burn out or peter out, or it just doesn't keep going. Like, he doesn't have that momentum. Although he is a strong contender, he's got strength in the home environment, so he has that strength card here. But for whatever reason, he doesn't get it. Like, he doesn't get as, like, he may go far, but he doesn't get across that finish line, so to speak.
I think he may get farther than people think.
I agree.
Look at this. Look what I drew 3 on purpose.
Oh yeah.
King, Magician, and then it's like it all dissipates, and we don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
But I feel the strength in him. I feel like he could go far. I think I might be giving him more than you. For you, he sounds like he's going to be counted out kind of early, right?
And I don't know if it's early, but I know he definitely doesn't end up being the nominee.
Okay. Who do you think is? Do you have a feeling about that?
I think if Biden throws his hat in the ring, it's going to be him. Whether we want it to be him or not. Whether we like it or not, I have a feeling it's going to be him. Because I think people are really feeding into this, like, you know, only an old white man can beat Trump, so we better go with it. But he's problematic. He's got some problems. He has his Anita Hill problem. He has his MLK problem. He has a couple of problems. So he's a problematic candidate. I don't think he's the best candidate personally, but I think that that's who they're going to pick. They're going to go establishment.
I don't know if that's psychic or just my brain talking, but...
Maybe you like him because he's a Scorpio. That's the only thing I know about his chart.
That's right, he is a Scorpio. I know people have like a hard on for Biden, and I'm like, I mean, he's not bad. He's got some nice teeth. Maybe that's why I like him. I like nice teeth.
Looks like he's got 4 planets in Scorpio. Just throwing that out there.
Wow.
That's a lot.
I think that's what I have. I have 3 or 4.
So that will do it for us. Thank you so much for being on, Miss Lady. It's always a pleasure to have you on and see you and get all your insight. I love BSing with her. So here's what you need to know if you want to find Elisa. She is my personal psychic, pretty much. She reads for me. She's amazing. She's definitely accurate. So I'm not doing private readings right now, so I'm telling everybody go see her. Now she's moving soon. So if you were thinking about getting a reading, get a reading now. If you're thinking about getting a reading, get a reading now. Help this girl cover her moving costs. But also you want to get her before she gets in the process of moving, because then it's going to be too late and she's going to have to, you know, settle in and, you know, leave Florida and It's going to be a whole thing. So if you want a reading with her, you're going to go to www.moonplutoastrology.com. I will put the links in the box. I will put the link in a card somewhere around here, somewhere around this general vicinity. So you can click on that and go book a reading with her. She is on Instagram. She is on Facebook. She is on Twitter. She is everywhere. Her Patreon is amazing.
Tell me about what's going on your Patreon. Like, what happens over there? What tier am I on? What am I? $10, right?
You're on the $10 tier, which means you get, of course, all previous tiers. I'll tell you what those are. But you also get a card of the month.
Yeah. And then you also have this coven. Like, what's going on? She has a coven. We have to talk about your coven.
I have 2 exciting tiers, but yeah, there's also a $5 tier where I answer psychic stuff. Like if people ask me, like I'm hardly on YouTube at all now, except with you. Like I don't do anything on my own channel. It's just sitting there. Everything's on the Patreon. So the $5 tier is where people just they can ask about politics, current events, celebrities, paranormal. Like I wound up answering a Bigfoot question and an alien question because they asked. They were probably patrons of yours that found me through you, because who else is going to ask me a question about alien hybrid babies? And then there's one video where I'm answering whatever they want.
Right.
And then the $1, you get 2 videos a week that you can't get elsewhere, which is the tarot guidance for the week and the tarot guidance for the weekend. So
very
that's,
nice.
You know, the energies. But then there's also a 2 cards of the month tier. So it's, you know, a card at the start of the month and a card mid-month. So that's one level above you.
So essentially, with your tiers, you're basically kind of guiding people throughout the month, and the more you pay, the more guidance you get.
Totally. And it's a total judgment-free zone, you know, because I've got my own thing going on, but yet we're all interested in magic, even if we call it something else, you know, like the new moon in Aries is coming, okay? And I keep talking about with them, I'm planning this big ritual for myself. And I'm going to share with them, this is what I'm going to do. This is why I'm going to do it. Let's talk about all these things. Let's talk about journaling and meditation and visualization and prayer. What is prayer versus a spell? Like all these different things that would fall under.
Oh, God damn it. I'm going to have to join this tier.
So I'm going to link everything, every damn thing. She wrote a book called The Little Book of Saturn. You can find that in any bookstore. It's amazing. I've read it. I highly recommend it, especially if you're going through a difficult Saturn process. And that's it. That'll do it. So thank you for being on, my love. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Okay, there we go.
Do it that way. Bye. Thank you.
And I'll see you guys later. So I'm going to link everything, every damn thing. But if you don't want to bother with the links, then, no, you're going to bother with the links. So fuck off.